Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, and when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. Right now, what is hot on everybody's mind is these stimulus payments. The bougie name is the economic impact payments, but everybody knows them as stimulus checks. Okay, so right now, stimulus checks are hitting people's accounts. Okay, they are starting with people, from what I understand, with the lowest AGI, the lowest adjusted gross income. They are doing direct deposits first. So if you're in the check crowd, you're not going to see something until later. The IRS is supposed to be opening a portal that they said middle of April. We're here now, so I don't know when. They're going to supposed to be opening a portal for you to update your direct deposit information if they don't have it. So that's supposed to be opening very soon as well. Let me write something down before I forget. Okay. So now the main thing that's going around social media right now is talking about these stimulus payments and how they're going to be treated. And so that's why I wanted to have this conversation today, because I'm going to be really honest with you. Y'all making my head hurt. Okay. It's bananas, because as tax professionals, our phones are ringing, our emails are blowing up, our inboxes are blowing up, wondering about these stimulus payments. So I want to talk about it. Okay. So the basics of the stimulus payments is that there are income limitations, but generally $1,200 per adult, $500 per qualifying child. Qualifying child meaning a child that qualifies for the child tax credit, 16 years or under. Okay, there is no limit on the number of children. Okay, so that's the basics on the stimulus checks. And so the first question, is the stimulus going to be taxable? And the answer is no. Okay. And then the next question is, does the stimulus have to be paid back? And that answer is also no. All right, so now let's get down to the nitty gritty. What exactly is the stimulus? So the stimulus is an advance on a 2020 tax credit. So the way that the law is written, it says that you'll receive these payments now when you need them based on this coronavirus, people losing their jobs and all of that. So you will receive these checks now, and it's going to be reconciled on your 2020 tax return when you file next year. And so when people hear reconciled on your 2020 tax return, whoa, what does that mean? Okay. So let's work with a few different scenarios, right? So if let's say, for instance, for example, that your stimulus is based on your 2018 tax return, right? Because it's based on either your 2018 tax return or your 2019. So if your 2019 is not available, we go on with 2018. Exactly when they're going to change that over, I don't know. Don't ask me. Nobody knows. Okay. So let's assume that it is based on your 2018 taxes. So during during the 2019 year, you may have had a new child. So you would not receive a credit for that child, right? Because it's based on your 2018 taxes. Well, on your 2020 taxes, then if you should have received more of a credit, you will receive that on your 2020 tax return. Okay, so based on your 2018 taxes, you'd have been short about $500 because that kid was born in 2019. You just hadn't filed your 2019 taxes yet. So then when you file your 2020 taxes, you'll get that additional $500 tax credit. Okay. Now, a tax credit, let me say this. A tax credit is a dollar for dollar reduction of your taxes. That's the difference between a tax credit and a tax deduction. Okay, now, so let's say also that this is based on your 2018 taxes, and in 2019 you had a child age out. They turned 17 during the tax year, therefore they would not be eligible for the child tax credit, which means you would have gotten $500 too much. Well, you don't have to pay that back. Okay, it's just like that. So, so the questions are, if you normally owe, how does the stimulus affect you? Well, you're still going to receive your stimulus payment. So let's say, for example, that you normally owe $1,800, okay? And then your stimulus tax credit is then $3,400. Well, when you file your tax return, you're going to show that $1,800 tax bill plus that $3,400 stimulus. Woo, you're getting a $1,600 tax refund. But what the government says is, yo, we know you need this money now. So you are going to then show that $3,400 tax credit that you received, and then your tax bill is still going to be that $1,800. So your tax bill is not going to be any different. It's just going to show that you received that $3,400 tax credit during 2020, during the year, instead of receiving it when you file your taxes. That is the basics of how this works. So this whole thing, like people are like really, like frantic, like, oh my gosh, this is going to impact my refund. Okay, let's talk about that. So let's assume that you normally get a $2,000 refund, and then that you were due a $1,700 stimulus. Okay, so on your tax return, you're going to show that $2,000 refund and that $1,700 tax credit. Woohoo! $3,700, right? Okay. But again, the government says, hey, y'all don't have no money right now. So you'll get this $1,700 payment during the year, and then you're going to subtract that credit when you file. So you're still going to get that $2,000 refund. Okay, so that's the basics of the math and how it works. I can just, tell you that all of the, the social media posts that are going on right now, you're getting your information from people sharing the wrong stuff. Okay, what can I tell you about me that I read all 355 pages of the tax bill? Okay, and I had the continuing education hours to go behind it, where I listen to other people that are smarter than me talk about this tax bill. I'm not getting my information from social media. Okay, we're going with education here, and this is what I encourage you to do as especially as tax professionals, because I see tax professionals that are continuing to share this information, this wrong information as well. And that totally breaks my heart. So I encourage you, if you're a tax professional watching this video, get you some continuing education. If you don't know who's teaching it, hit me up. I got some resources for you. So the stimulus payments are going to be based on either your 2018 taxes or your 2019 taxes. Okay. So if you haven't filed your 2018 yet, you need to get it done. Okay, if you haven't filed your 2019 yet, and then you got your but your 2018 is on file, that's okay too. Now, another thing that I want to warn you about, because what I've seen is people who have a filing requirement that are going to do this simple return. Okay. The simple return is for people who normally don't have a filing requirement. We're talking about people who normally just have Social Security, or their income is too low and it doesn't require them to file a tax return. So the IRS said, hey, you can file this simple tax return so that we have your information. You can get the stimulus payment. But what people are doing is the people that actually have a filing requirement are going and then using this simple tax return just to get the stimulus payment. Do not do that, because you are actually filing a tax return. So when it's time for you to actually go and file your return, you will not be able to e-file the correct return. Now, you open yourself up to getting underpayment penalties and all that stuff because you haven't done the right thing. Listen, if you have a filing requirement, get your taxes filed. If you owe, that has nothing to do with the stimulus payment. Okay, if you file your 2019, you have a tax liability. Has nothing to do with your stimulus payment. You will still get your stimulus payment. The only people that are not going to get a stimulus payment are those that are behind in child support. Don't shoot the messenger. That's what they wrote in the law. Okay. So yeah, that's how the stimulus checks are working. So I really hope that this clarifies some things for you. It's the checks are coming out now. I've seen people that have received them on all kinds of fronts. So just take your time, right? it's coming. Don't call the IRS looking for your stimulus checks. They have a website that they're putting together that's going to allow you to track the status of your stimulus payments. It's coming. Okay. Please understand also that the IRS is at the house too, right? They dealing with the coronavirus as well. So they are not fully staffed the way that they normally are to get these things done. All right. So, you calling and trying to find out where this stimulus payment is, that's doing nothing. That's really doing nothing for you because they really can't tell you, right? The person that you're talking to on the phone really can't tell you. So just know that they're coming if they are due to you, whether you get that in the if you get it in the direct deposit or if you get it in a check, it's coming. Okay. So that's the scoop, you guys. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to Home Biz Tax Talk. I really hope this helped you out. Again, we air Monday through Friday, and you can come right here to get your questions answered about your home business taxes. All right, have a great day, and I will see you all next time. Bye.